All right, not good morning, or hello dealers. Adam here with GlowStone Lighting. Just wanted to do a quick video here, just continuing our series regarding having you and your team kind of be familiar with the app as much as you can. Just wanted to go over the little bit of the live page today and the preset page, just wanting to kind of take it step by step. I won't go over too much of the live page just because it should be pretty familiar with most of you by now, but I just want to address a couple of things. So the first thing here is the 4 symbols here at the top of the app, which you'll see the very first one is the question mark, and if I click on that, you'll see this will take you to the GlowStone Lighting kind of help support page. So if you click here on get help at the bottom in blue, this will take you directly to our support page here for the website, or on the website here for the GlowStone Lighting Plus app. So you can click on that app there, that app symbol, and it will take you to our support page where we have the AI system as well as all of the PDFs, and there are some videos here regarding the support system of the app here. So I'll just go back here to the app. So that's the very first symbol. Second symbol here is just this toggle switch, which quite simply turns your lights off and on, which is nice and easy to work with there. The third symbol here is the connection symbol. So if you click on that and you hit check connection, it's just going to give you an updated time of when it was connected last. And of course, if it's not connected, most of you should be familiar with seeing that red symbol letting you know it's not connected. The fourth symbol here at the very top is the preview. As you can see, my lights are on default orange just because I've cleared some presets and some scheduling. So orange is your default color. As you can see here on preview, it shows me that I'm on orange. So a quick reminder about the live page. First button here is all about light sets. I've selected it to all, which essentially just is saying the entire system is what I'm wanting to control right now. You should all be familiar with the color wheel. As I touch here on the color wheel, the colors obviously change. You obviously have your brightness setting and all that. Everybody should be familiar with this. You have the RGB setting or sliders where you can quite literally find that perfect color that you're looking for just by adjusting the sliders there. Of course, there's the color palette page, where you'll be able to switch between all the pre-built color palettes that we've done for homeowners. So there's just an example there. Of course, there are different effects. So, there are some effects that do different things for different palettes. Not all of them kind of behave in the same way. You can change their intensities and their speeds of how fast you want those to kind of move. So there's just an example there. And of course, there is the random button, where if I click the random button, it will just throw on something random on my house. That looks pretty good right there. If I click random again, there you go, it throws on something different. So there you go. So that's kind of fun. So that's the live page. Everybody should be familiar with that. Now, really quick, so let's go to the preset page. On the preset page, the easiest way to think about presets is you're setting your favorites. Not only that, but you are setting an event. And this will have to do with our setting up our schedule, which I will do in another training. But for today, we're going to want to set up your presets. Now, before you create a preset, the very first thing that you're going to want to do is create an all off or an off command. So I'm going to click the orange plus button here. Please do not forget, you always have to name the preset. If you don't, it won't work. So I'm going to name this one all off. Okay. I'm going to have it light set to all. And now the cool thing about all off is you don't have to worry about creating any specific color palette or anything like that, or we don't have to drop the brightness. You see here at the bottom, it says all light sets on. We want that to be turned off. As you can see, it turns my lights off in real time. Okay, so you should be familiar with this. The preset page is very much designed to be identical to the live page so that when someone is creating a preset, they can see exactly what they're doing. So I'm going to hit save here. It might not pop up the very first time, but if I were to click back on the live page and go back here to presets, you should see that all off has now appeared. Now, if you've done this correctly, you should see that there was a lock symbol beside all off. That means you cannot edit this, and this is kind of the master for turning your power off on your schedule. So you want to make sure that that's there. Now, I do know some homeowners don't have that lock symbol. They'll actually have 3 symbols over there to the right. You'll kind of see what I mean there here in a second. Okay, so now let's create some presets. Okay, so I'm going to click here on the orange plus button. I'm going to create a preset. Let's just create a few together. For this purpose, I'm going to make an accent lighting, which is one of my favorites. Okay, so I named it to be accent lighting. I'm going to come down here to color palette. I like accent lighting too. As you can see, it did turn my lights on there. So it behaves very much the exact same way that the live page does. I'm going to adjust the intensity so that I have that one on, or that kind of one bright, two dim. I'm going to make sure all light sets are set to on. That's really important. If you don't switch it back to on, it actually won't work. So yeah, I'm satisfied with how that looks there. I'm now going to hit save. Okay, so you should see here on my device, I now have two presets. I have an all off, which if I were to click play, that will quite literally turn my lights off. And I've hit play on accent lighting, it will turn my lights back on. So as I mentioned earlier about these three symbols, there is a play triangle button, which is essentially to tell your system to activate it right now. Then you have the pencil mark button, which allows you to be able to edit that preset that you've made, or you can trash can it or essentially delete it. Okay, so I'm going to create another one. Let's call this one Christmas. And I'm going down to my color palettes here, and I'm going to select one of the Christmas ones. I really like Christmas 3. But let's do something fun with this one. Let's have this be Try Chase. Okay, it's going to have them doing some different things there. Let's maybe have it be... Actually, you know what's really fun? I actually really like Twinkle Fox. And I'm going to adjust the intensity here. Actually, I might need to increase the intensity. There we go. So if I increase the intensity, you can kind of see how it adjusts the spacing or the groupings of each color. And I'm going to adjust the speed here so they will just kind of twinkle on and off there. So that's really fun. If you want to get really specific with the naming your preset so you know exactly what it's doing, just for fun, I'm going to name this one Twinkle Fox. Okay, Christmas Twinkle Fox, nice and easy. Okay, and then I'm going to hit save. There we go. So as you can see, I've now got three presets. My all off preset, accent lighting, and Christmas Twinkle Fox. So if I hit play on all off, it turns my lights off. If I hit play on accent lighting, it will bring my lights on to accent lighting. And if I click play, here on Christmas Twinkle Fox, it will automatically go to Twinkle Fox. So that should be pretty standard or pretty straightforward. We can create one more here. Let's just call this one like Wintertime, just for fun. I'm going to go to color palette, and there's one that I actually really like called the Northern Lights. I really like this one here. I like how this looks on my house. I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to have this one. Let's see if I like color waves. Oh yeah, color waves there is fun. So I'm going to kind of adjust the intensity so it adjusts kind of the spacing between all three colors. If I drop that, you'll kind of see how it creates a little bit larger spacing. If I it can be a little backwards sometimes depending on the animation, where if you actually increase the intensity, it will actually bring those groupings closer, whereas with some others, it will do the opposite. So I'll drop down the speed there so it just goes a little bit slower. I think that looks pretty nice, but you don't have to be as extravagant to this. Whereas I'm doing it here, I'm going to hit save. And there you go, wintertime. So that's pretty fun. So that's all I'm going to do for today, just to not make these videos too long. So that was a little bit about the live page and about the preset page, and I hope that helps. Thanks everybody for watching.